Okay, Emma, you've given me almost all the information that we need. There's just one last set of questions that I would like to be able to ask you. Would that be okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Great. So the main question is about your use of substances. Do you drink alcohol or use any other drugs or substances?
Well, yeah, I mean, I drink, but I don't do drugs or anything like that.
Okay then, so thinking about your drinking, have you ever had any problems related to your use of alcohol?
Well, I mean, I guess it was my drinking that got me in here, so yeah.
You think your diabetic coma might be related to your drinking?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that, but it probably is related.
Has a friend or relative, doctor or healthcare practitioner, ever been concerned or suggested that you cut down?
No, not that I can think of. Like I said, it's not like I'm an alcoholic or anything like that.
And labels aren't particularly important. However, Emma, have you ever said to another person, no, I don't have an alcohol problem, when at the same time you've thought, maybe I do?
Well, kind of right now, so yes.
Okay, Emma, so because you've answered yes to a couple of the questions, I would like to know more, and one way of doing that would be to ask you to complete a questionnaire for us. It helps identify a variety of alcohol problems. Would you be interested in finding out more and completing the questionnaire?
Yeah, I guess. Is it complicated?
No, not at all. It's 10 questions that you can answer on your own. You don't even need to do it right now, but sometime today would be great. And when you have it completed, you can let me or one of the other nurses know, and then we can come and give you some feedback based on it.
Okay, Colin, it sounds great. I'll give it a go.
Great. Well, thanks for your time, Emma. I'll go and get that form for you. Is there anything else you might like to ask me while I'm here?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, I'll go and get that form. Thanks. Hi again, Emma. I wonder if now might be a good time to follow up on the results of the questionnaire that was given to you yesterday.
Hi, Colin. Yeah, sure, but I actually gave it to the other nurse last night, though.
Right, and I have it now here with the results. So how ready are you? How are you feeling about discharge?
Well, I'm hoping for discharge tomorrow, but it's been quite rough over the last few days.
It's been no walk in the park, and now you're ready for home.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess my first question for you might be, are you interested in knowing the results of the questionnaire that you completed?
Well, I'm not sure what it might tell you, but yeah, sure, I'd like to know.
Great. Well, a couple of things before we get going. Firstly, these results are yours and they're about you, and only you can decide what to do with the information that we might cover.
Okay, good to know.
And secondly, let me just take a minute to set out some details. Anything we discuss is confidential in the sense that I don't share your information needlessly. I do share information with other members of the healthcare team, and if you suggested to me that you were either at harm to yourself or a risk of harm to others or even a risk of harm to a child, I would have a legal responsibility to break confidentiality. I have just 5 or 10 minutes right now to give you the results and just follow up with a few questions. How does that sound?
Great. Nice and quick. Although I have been thinking about things and filling out your forms last night kind of got me thinking about my drinking, and then I couldn't sleep because I wanted to drink.
So drinking's been on your mind recently, even keeping you awake.
Well, yeah, but it's probably because of your forms.
Okay, well, let's get to the results. What do you know about the audit tool?
The what tool? Oh, you mean the forms? Nothing, to be honest.
No problem. So it was developed by the World Health Organization to help identify hazardous, harmful, and dependent drinking. Based on your response, it gives a total score which equates roughly to the extent of alcohol problems, if any, of course.
Okay, I see.
So let me just explain the numbers and what they might mean. 8 to 15 means elevated risk, possible mild alcohol use disorder. 16 to 19 is possible alcohol abuse, moderate alcohol use disorder, and anything 20 or above is possible alcohol dependence, severe alcohol use disorder.
Yeah, okay.
So your personal number, based on your responses, is 17.
Oh, I see. So,
Well, and if we take a closer look at what increased your score, we can see that the amount that you've been drinking and the frequency is on the higher level, certainly above the Canadian low-risk alcohol drinking guidelines. You've had an alcohol-related injury and you've had clear memory problems. So in summary, your score is high for drinking at hazardous levels and you've shown some harmful effects. So what does this mean to you, Emma?
well, could be worse, right?
So it's not a worry for you?
Man, it's still pretty bad though, isn't it? And I'm gonna keep messing up my diabetes too. I need to.
You're right about the connections between your drinking and your diabetes. What else do you know about the risks of drinking at your level?
Well, I mean, I know that alcohol can mess with your blood sugar levels, and that's probably what got me in here, so.
So you've already given it quite a bit of thought, it seems. It's been in your mind, as you said earlier, and that's a great place to start.
Yeah, I have been thinking about it. So these results, they put me where?
They place you in the middle at moderate alcohol use disorder level. What does that mean to you, Emma?
Well, I should cut down, maybe stop. No, I could cut down.
Cutting down is something you could consider. I agree that making changes to your drinking at this stage could help reduce some of the risks of continued drinking. It really is the best thing to do at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to deal with my diabetes and not end up here again, then I need to do something about my drinking too. I mean, it has been a bit excessive lately. And I know that alcohol affects my blood sugar levels, so of course it's affecting my diabetes too.
Absolutely. What other risk effects of alcohol are you aware of?
Well, I know that it affects other parts of the body too, if you overdo it. I think I heard somebody say that there's almost little to no or human organs that aren't affected by alcohol.
Right, so you know alcohol can affect the body. What about other problems?
Well, sure, but I can't think of any.
Would it help if I ran through a few of the common risks when drinking at your levels?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I can even leave this leaflet with you, but let me run over it first. So as the pictures highlight, there are several areas that are affected by alcohol.
Okay. So excessive alcohol can lead to social, legal, medical, domestic, job, and financial problems. It may also cut your lifespan and lead to accidents and death from drunken driving. Yeah, it's true. So
I'm interested, Emma, what do you like about drinking?
well, I mean, I'm sure you drink too. Most people do. Well, it helps me to relax, you know. Coming home from work and having a drink, it helps me to settle, switch off.
What else?
No, it helps me to laugh. It helps me sleep too. At least I think it does. I don't actually know if it does.
So there are some benefits for you. What about the downside? What don't you like about your current drinking?
Well, as we just found out, I'm in the middle range, not the good range. I know that alcohol messes with my blood sugar levels, so I know that I can get tingling with my diabetes, and I'm starting to see that I can get that with alcohol too. It also affects my chances of getting pregnant, which I guess I knew but had forgotten, and breast cancer, which is just, I mean...
Sounds like there are a lot of things to consider. And as I said earlier, whatever you do with all this information is entirely up to you.
Yeah, good to know. I mean, I can't be in here. There's no point in dealing with my diabetes when I go home, hopefully tomorrow, if I don't also do something about my drinking.
So would it be okay if I tried to summarize what we've talked about so far?
Yeah, sure.
So we've talked about the scores on the audit tool. You've identified that your drinking is something that you should be addressing as part of your moving forward package. You've acknowledged that alcohol helps you to relax, and you even wonder if it might help you to sleep. On the other hand, you know that your drinking has affected your management of your diabetes. You're concerned about the possible impacts on fertility and the possibility of developing breast cancer. So you have suggested that you could cut down on your drinking moving forward, and I've agreed that that would be helpful.
Yeah, I should cut down.
Great. So to help you move forward, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to leave you with this information that I brought. I'm going to make a referral to the community health centre for follow-up, if you consent, of course. I'm going to give you this drinking diary and ask that if you could complete it if you do happen to drink between now and when you next see the community team. And then lastly, I would really like to come and see you again tomorrow for 10 or 15 minutes before discharge to focus on your goals for reducing drinking, maybe after you've had some time to think about it tonight.
Okay, sounds great. You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you for the chat. Thanks.